Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have a fantastic rack. I have Lydia. Where's the best place for that? Well, I can't get the D doubled, so probably not much between them. Lydia for 68. Well, an unbalanced rack, so non-bingo-y. I do have the ing ending, but that doesn't give me an 8 even through a vowel. But I think there's enough flexibility on this rack to sort it out rather than changing. Certainly the E in column 5, I could play herding. Well, that's been blocked. I do have herding in column 9. Well, hedging would score more. 21 points, not a huge score, but the rack was fairly junky, so I quite like the idea of turning over tiles, and this isn't giving anything amazing away. Fantastic. Tile turnover has resulted in drawing the first blank, and the rest of the rack pretty handy. Do I have a bingo? It feels close. I'm close to geo-fail, but I'm not seeing one. Not seeing a 7. What are the floaters? L. No. How about the N? Not seeing anything, and not seeing anything with the G. So how to sort the rack out? It would be nice to play off J and F, but that may not be possible. I have Phi Joa through the I. Fantastic. Leaving R blank. Will that stay available? Opponent may be drawn to the triple word square at the bottom of column 8 with a 3-letter play. That would leave Phi Joa alone. Well, opponent's played Far for 19. Interesting, and Far does take an A in front. So, what is the play? Let me check the score for Phi Joa. That's 32, pretty decent. Setting up a new lane, which I'm happy with since I have the blank. What could I do in either row E or column 11? Well, what I can't do is play off J and F. And 32 points, which is the score I'm getting for Phi Joa, I think that would be difficult to reach. I could play Raj for 38 points, keeping EOF blank. Probably fairly close, but I am going with Phi Joa. Pretty good. I have Traked. That plays in row E. Do I have a second bingo? That also plays in column 11, but they could both be blocked. This feels a really good rack. Well, Traked remains available. And I'm just wondering if it's worth looking for another, and I don't think so. Pretty good pickup. Not a million miles away from a bingo, and I may have one. I would have P ahead through an R. I don't think pile head is good. What are the other floaters? G. Well, I don't have an N, so it would need to end AGE. What about the D? Doesn't look promising. And the K not really available. Bang takes an O in front. Great, just 6 points for opponent. So, what can I do here? I don't have a bingo. So, I'm looking to get value from my scoring tiles. I could play hide and FE. That feels fairly lame. Limps over 20 points. What about a play onto this T? So it could end T or end T something. Wow, surely there's something at the top. Well, not that I can see. What about playing a longer word? And I was looking to see if heaped plays, and it doesn't. I don't have a vowel for going in front of the K, which would need to be an O. Well, I do have a good lead, and I'm minded to turn over tiles. Helipad for 26. And I draw a good scoring tile in the X, and I do have an O for going in front of the K, so I may have something. Well, I have Ox, except I don't. 23 points for opponent. Do I have any XO plays? Afar takes nothing in front, so no, I don't. What about a play ending in X? No, not that I can see. So where can I get good value from my X? What about the A of Helipad? I can play Oxo for 45. Wow, and I'm glad I got rid of both those because I've drawn 2 more. This looks close to a bingo. I have the able ending. I don't think odorable is good, or any anagrams. So not many floaters on the board now. There's D and E, neither of which assist. And there's the N. Not seeing anything there. And I'm not seeing a 7 with this rack. So how to sort it out? Well, I guess playing off the tiles I've drawn, I could play oboe or obol or lobo in row D. 41 tiles in the bag. Let me check the remaining vowels. 22 out of 48, so slightly vowel dry. So probably worth playing oboe rather than the L as well. I may reconsider that. Playing the L is 4 more points and would prevent opponent sticking an E on the end of oboe. Well, I guess that's my choice. I could play oboe rather than obol. So this is what I'm thinking of. I generally like to keep the E, but there are a lot of E's to come. This is 32 points, so keeping on piling on 30-point scores is a good thing. I am going with this. Wow, what a pickup. It's pickups like this you wish you had when you were playing against somebody with a very high rating and a 100-point lead, but you end up getting them when you've got a great lead and probably don't need a rack quite this good. So, having said that, do I have a bingo? Tax takes nothing in front. Not too many lanes to consider. There is row C, so I have Alienor if there are 7 squares here, and there are. But I've just played there, so opponent may take that spot. HM takes an O in front. So I have Alienor in column 3, so I'm certainly bingoing. Slightly dangerous in that it sticks an A in the middle of row A, but I think I'm in good shape to survive a triple. Fantastic. Opponent does not block my bingo and doesn't score very much. So I've considered Alienor, but what about a longer play which hooks BE? So Alerion, that doesn't work. Alienor, that doesn't work. And Aileron, Alerion, and Alienor, none of those work. So what about having a different tile? Surely there's a bingo here. Well, not seeing it. Ordinal. No. What does go in front of OK? R does. B does. W and Y. So let me... opponents lost contact or quit. I wondered if they might get disheartened by this lead. And opponent does not return. Game adjudicated in my favour. So, final score, 103 to opponent, 303 to me, a winning margin of 200 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. And that margin was about to get even bigger with Alienor. Maybe I should have whacked it down quickly. Now, I had this dream opening rack with Lydia to play. Horrible rack for opponent. Plays Vac. And I play Hedging for 21, which looks fine. Opponent plays Far. Phew, no Miss Bingo here. I play Fijoa, and Raj was the alternative I was considering. I suspect not very much between those plays. Wow, still no vowels for opponent. Plays Bang, and I get my second bingo down. Wow, I played it fairly quickly because I thought if there were a better bingo it wouldn't be much better, but in fact there's just the solitary bingo playable in 2 spots where I played it, and 4 more points in column 11. Now opponent finally does have a vowel, plays Hat. Phew, no missed bingo here, and I play Helipad for 26. I think if you're playing against an opponent who's rated a lot lower than you, there can be a greater incentive to turn over more tiles, because although you're creating openings, opponent is going to be less able to take maximum advantage of them. Now, opponent's rack plays Nim, and J5 Oxo, that was my play. Opponent has Satiety, nowhere for it, plays Tay. Phew, no miss bingo here. And I play Oboe for 32, and I think that looks fine. And is this where opponent bails? No, opponent plays Fear. Right, and now opponent leaves, just as I was about to play. Oh, Aileron does play in row C. Gosh, I thought I checked that. And Clarion and a bunch of others in column 3. But opponent went, and that was the end of the game. So, slightly odd game. Always slightly disappointing when opponent abandons before the end, especially when there's quite so many tiles to go. But I guess the outcome of the game was fairly determined. A 200 lead is very rarely overturned. Anyway, a strange game not only for that, but ISC was down yesterday. I was all set to record on Sunday afternoon, and the site was down, which happens extremely rarely. So I'm actually recording this on Monday evening, which is not my regular time. So another reason for strangeness, but delighted to get another win under my belt. Many thanks to my opponent for that game. I hope you enjoyed watching the game, and I will see you next time.